Everton have now had 2 seasons of just scraping through relegation battles, and this season things look much better on the field. You start to think things are turning round. Then there's rumours and reports of a 12-point deduction for financial mismanagement, and you realise Everton could once again this season be in trouble. So on Football Manager 2024, I have edited the Premier League to give Everton minus 12 points, and hopefully we're going to be trying to save them from relegation in this first season before rebuilding them back into a team challenging in the Europa League. Maybe we'll lift in a few trophies along the way as well. And we're going to end today's rebuild by lifting a European Cup. That is the plan. We've got a 5-year limit to go ahead and do it. We're trying to do it as well, being clever with money. Maybe not spending a net over 100 million, and that's still a lot of money, but for what they've been going through and the mismanagement that has been at the club, I feel like we can do something by using the players they've got. They've got some fantastic wonder kids, and just trying to fix Everton. And on the thumbnail is Jimmy Garner. For some reason, Jimmy Garner has been one of my favourite players of all time. I don't really understand it, but since sort of him coming through the academy at Manchester United, you can tell I'm a Manchester United fan. I've always been a huge fan of Jimmy Garner. For the last 2 or 3 years, I've tipped him to make the 2026 World Cup squad, and I still believe that, and getting him more game time at Everton is going to be my priority for this rebuild. He's getting it in real life, which is fantastic to see, and his stats on this year's FM looks absolutely fantastic. Some great determination, stamina, teamwork. He's great on the ball, and we've got him playing in a deep line playmaker role next to Amadou Onana, with Idrissa Gueye sitting in behind. We've got Patterson and Mikalenko as the 2 fullbacks, Tarkowski and Ben Godfrey as the 2 centre-backs, with Pickford in goal. Danjuma as the right wing, McNeil as the left wing, and if he can stay fit, Dominic Calvert-Lewin will be our star striker for this whole rebuild. I mean, I've always liked Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but his injury worries are a massive issue, and you can tell here he's a red injury proneness. He's always injured according to Football Manager, and I completely agree. This guy would be the backup to Harry Kane if he could stay fit, to be honest. That's the only issue he's got. We've obviously got Billy Crellin as the backup goalkeeper to Pickford. Branthwaite is going to be getting lots of game time this season as well. A fantastic young centre-back, and hopefully he's going to be our starting centre-back for the next 3, 4, 5 years, however long it takes us. He looks fantastic, and I'm a big fan of his. We've got Michael Keane and Ashley Young for a bit of experience, Andre Gomez, Decore, and Dele Alli's at the club as well. Now, he's got a hip injury, and it says he's a decent championship player. I mean, his stats actually look very good, and we all know the story about Dele Alli, and I would like to try and get him some game time, but we'll see how impactful he can be when coming back from that hip injury. We've got Jack Harrison, who injured at the start, but again, looks fairly decent in real life for Everton so far, hip injury. And then we've got a couple of a youngster in Hunt as a backup left winger, and Beto, brand new summer signing, as the backup to Calvert-Lewin. I think my plan this season is to try and just stay clear, and afterwards we'll move into a more sort of, a 4-4-2 with Calvert-Lewin and Beto. But if we can survive this season is the plan. So we've gone for a bit more of a meta formation in 4-3-3. A 12-point deduction is actually quite big to have on the club, especially at the start of Football Manager. So I've got no idea what tactics work still. I'm still in my making tactics phase and getting them working. So a minus 12 points. Hopefully we can come 17th and just about survive. That is the plan. So let's get into it. Season number 1. Can we survive the financial mismanagement 12-point deduction? Well, I tell you what, we made Goodison Park an absolute fortress. 12 wins at home this season, secured us Premier League safety. We managed to come 13th, and actually with the 12 extra points, we've done 53 points and finished 11th. So we steered clear of relegation, and one man stayed fit, and he did wonders. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, this is what happens if he stays fit. 15 finishing, 16 first touch, 17 heading, great off the ball work, great pace, and he's 6'2". He is now classed as a leading Premier League player, and that's because that is what he could be if he just doesn't tear his ACL every 3 months. Obviously, he's been injured here. I mean, what was the injury this season? He's still 37 games and 23 goals. 33 in the Premier League is very good. There is a injury bit somewhere. I'm learning this brand new skin. It's history. There it is. Injuries. A groin strain, pulled ankle ligaments, groin strain, tight groin, twisted knee. all in this season alone. No major injuries, a couple of 3 or 4 week ones, but DCL was fantastic. Danjuma on right wing, 11 goals and 6 assists. The back four was very, very strong. Nathan Patterson played 35 games. Fantastic wonder kid again. He was in a wonder kid video I done yesterday. He looks absolutely brilliant on this year. Ben Godfrey hardly played. It looks like Branthwaite was our starting centre back next to Tarkowski, which is good to see. I actually prefer that, to be honest. Looks absolutely fantastic. And Jimmy Garner, 41 games, 4 goals and 7 assists. He had a decent season, 6.93 Premier League football. I love it. Better off the bench, 4 goals, 1 assist. He is not going to be happy. Hopefully we can keep him around because, like I say, the plan is to go into a 4-4-2. And Dele Alli only played 3 games off the bench, didn't even play enough to get any average rating, but is now a leading League One player, so we are not going to renew Dele Alli's contract. But just a little touch on Dele Alli, absolute legend, and obviously respect everything that he's gone through. So Dele Alli, go out there and make a name for yourself. When we'll check back on him at the end of the rebuild, and hopefully he has revived his career somewhere. Onana, 40 games, looks very, very good. McNeil played a few games, he did all right, to be fair, and Jack Harrison the same. I won't be bringing Jack Harrison or Danjuma back to the club. We've only got £48 million to spend, and like I said, I'm going to be trying to keep things at every single season a net 100 million or lower. If we can go lower, obviously we'll, but I don't want to sort of go back into financial mess. I mean, it looks great here, let's be honest, but I've said a lot worse. But 812 million in debt is worrying. Obviously that is also to do with the brand new stadium, so we have to keep that into account as well. But hopefully we can sort of revive this club now. We are back in the Premier League, a mid-table team, even with the 12-point deduction. So hopefully we can now progress on to the next level. Let's see what signings we can make for season number 2. So for season number 2, we spent a grand total of £75 million. I got rid of around 15 million, so a net spend of 60 million, which is very good for a Premier League club. And Ben Godfrey was the first man that left the club, hardly played a game last season. We got £9 million for him. He's gone off to Burnley and he'll be all right there. But Ben Godfrey, I think, again, has had a massive injury worries. I mean, he had a big injury 2 seasons ago. He was looking like he was going to be a top-class English centre-back. I wanted to be United at one point, and then he got injured, and since then hasn't quite been the same. But hopefully Godfrey can go ahead and revive his career. And Neil Maupay is the first time I've said a name all video. Didn't play hardly at all last season. In fact, he was on loan at Brentford, wasn't he? He's gone now, £5 million to Bournemouth. I don't really rate him too highly, to be honest. I don't really like him that much either, to be honest. As a United fan, I have a big memory of him celebrating and shushing us. So, yeah, don't like him. And Brian Gill is our first signing. It's a loan signing from Spurs. A very quick, tricky winger. A decent Premier League quality already, just 23 years of age. And again, trying to keep money smart. He has been brought in for 16 dribbling, 17 flair, 16 acceleration. Hopefully can get some good game time for us. He's consistent and he loves a big match. So that is some of the reasons I've signed him, of course. Samuel Acero, 18 years of age, centre-back. This guy starts off at West Brom. I believe he's on loan there in real life from Defensa y Justicia in Argentina. 18 determination, 16 positioning. Great defensive stats, decent pace. 5'10". The Leacher bold, obviously I love that. Extremely consistent. Currently a 2-star player, but has potential of 5-star and looks fantastic. So he's been brought in. Crystal Palace were relegated. So Joachim Andersen, one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League at the moment, big fan of his, has come in. He made 100 caps for Crystal Palace. Hopefully he can go on next to Jared Branthwaite and make another 100 here at Everton. Again, extremely consistent, loves a big match, very good player, great defensive work, great passing, which is great for a centre-back as a ball player. So Joachim Andersen is also in. And for just £1 million, I made a bit of clever business. Thomas Coleman retiring from the club. It was only right a real backup to Nathan Patterson was brought in. So Cesar Azpilicueta, a lot of experience in the Premier League, a fantastic, almost Premier League icon at this point. And for £1 million, he's been over at Atletico Madrid for a year, didn't get too much game time. We've brought him back to be a backup and to be that sort of clever and experienced head in our backline when he does play. So Azpilicueta for £1 million, I think, is an absolute steal. And then on to our biggest signing so far this summer, and the biggest one we might even make on this whole save, is Luis Sinisterra. £25 million on loan at Bournemouth last year, has been signed. He looks absolutely fantastic. Great dribbling, great pace, great flair. Going to be a very good attacking winger. Loves big matches, consistent. Overall, a fantastic signing for just £25 million. And Francisco Ortega, again, one of them bargains that we've signed from Olympiacos, who joined there just last season from Verge in Argentina. 7.75 million value, looks fantastic. Back up to Mikalenko or rotation option. And Tony Springett is the last man. I think it was £4 million. Let me just check. £3.5 million signing from Derby just to be a backup winger. And again, a young Irish player filling up some, I mean, he looks alright, doesn't he? He's a 4-star potential player. I'm not going to waste your time on him. He doesn't grow, all right? Tony Springett, waste of a signing. £4 million. Move on, all right? Stop rambling. Tactics-wise, we have gone to a 4-4-2, as I mentioned we would. Jordan Pickford in goal, Patterson, Branthwaite, Anderson, Mikalenko, Sinistera, Jimmy Garner and Onana in midfield, with Brian Gill at left mid, Beto and Calvert-Lewin as the 2 strikers. Backup-wise, though, we do look good with some very good youngsters in here as well. Billy Krellin, Azpilicueta, Lucero, Tarkovsky, Ortega, Springett, Idrissa Gana Abdoulaye Doucouré, Dwight McNeil, Martin Sheriff, and Yusuf Shamiti. Now, these two look like 2 very good young wonder-kid strikers. Shamiti was awesome on last year's FM. He looks fantastic, signed this summer. And Martin Sheriff is a Dutch young striker, 18 years of age. Again, looks very good and are going to be good enough backups to Calvert-Lewin and Beto, as long as Calvert-Lewin stays fit. And that is hopefully what we see this season. We are just in the Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup. No 12-point deduction. Let's see what we can do. Well, season number 2 went as well as I could expect. Again, a top half finish, solidifying ourselves as no longer a team battling relegation was absolutely fantastic and all we could have asked for. 59 points, 59 goal difference, Jesus, 0 goal difference. Beto, 22 goals. Calvert-Lewin, 18 games, 14 goals. And guess what happened? 6-month injury, damaged cruciate ligament. Absolutely fantastic. Meanwhile, we were left with our 2 young strikers and Dwight McNeil, who fielded up front. So what could have been this season could have been quite simply fantastic. Dwight McNeil with 7 goals and 14 games. A good return, but maybe not as a striker. And we really did sell ourselves short by not get another striker and believing Calvert-Lewin could stay fit, which sort of done us over this season a little bit. But season 2, a very good season again, sort of solidified ourselves, like I said, as a mid-table Premier League club. Beto was fantastic, Dwight McNeil with a lot of assists, and at 9th place, not too much to really speak about, to be honest. We got 4th round in the FA Cup by United and 2nd rounded by Leicester, which is frustrating, but a very, very good season nonetheless, and it means we can now build on again this season to make an even stronger side. £51 million, £400,000 in wage budget, and the money again looks fantastic until you click the debts and loan screen. It's going up, which is scary. So we need to get them into European football. So massive signings coming up for hopefully the season where we can get back into European football. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, this is also available on Patreon down below. The rebuild file, the end of season file. A massive thank you to the legends on screen right now. You literally helped me sort of take this to the next level. The new mic has been pretty much brought from the lovely support over on Patreon over the month. So a massive thank you to you absolute heroes that go over there. You have no idea what it means, the support on Patreon. So a massive, massive thank you. We signed players as well in this rebuild from the list. Start uploading on there the shortlist lists of the African top 25, South American, North American, European and Asia, Oceania. I believe we actually signed someone from every single one. So that is also available on Patreon down below. Keep watching the rebuild to see who we sign. But a massive thank you. And if you are interested in picking up this rebuild file, the link is at the top of the description. So again, a net spend of around £50 million has been done, and Ortega has left the club. He's gone off to Al Ali. We signed him for £7 million, signed him for 16. He played 10 games. Financial mismanagement, who? That is a fantastic piece of business, and he is out the door. James Tarkovsky, obviously a bit of a legend in real life at this point. Obviously signed him from Burnley a few years ago, but is doing what he can and looks fantastic. Yeah, he's off. He's gone to Magdeburg. I don't even know where they are. They're in Germany in the 2nd tier. Apparently they can spend £5.5 million. So respect to them because he has gone there. Taylor Booth is our first signing of the summer. An American winger, looks very, very good. Value of £17 million, signed from Bayern Munich on loan at Utrecht in real life, I believe. Looks fantastic. Great fit, great finishing, great dribbling, great pace, great determination, flair. A very well-rounded player. You can tell from his map, he can't play centre-back. Everywhere else, he could actually play and do me a job. So I'm a big fan of that. He can come in for 15 million quid, I'll tell you that. And a new left back instead of Mikalenko, and obviously replacing the guy we just sold to Al Ali, is Vanderlan, Brazilian left back from Palmeiras. 17 pace, 15 acceleration, great crossing, dribbling, first touch, determination, flair, all the good things, consistent, loves big match, 22 years of age, looks absolutely brilliant. Martin Vitek is my next signing from Sparta Prague. He looks fantastic, value of 65 to 72 million pounds. We signed him for just £10 million after absolutely killing it over in the Czech Republic. 17 strength, 16 heading, 17 acceleration, 6'4". What a signing. Can even do a job in CDM as well. So if you haven't ever used Martin Vitek, I've seen him play in real life at Sparta Prague. Looks very good in real life. Looks very good on FM too. Big fan of Martin Vitek. Alexander Press is the next signing from SK Sturm in Austria, signing for just £9 million. Looks okay. Sort of the Brian Gill replacement. Obviously, he was on loan last season. He is now gone. And hopefully we can get something out of Alexander Press. I'm not banking on it. He looks decent, but for £7 million, well, £9 million, you sort of have to make them things because we've gone big on a striker. I no longer trust Calvert-Lewin's ACL. So Gift Orban is in, and this guy looks fantastic. He's on my top 25 Africans Wonder Kid list, which is going to come out very, very soon. He is outrageous. The story of him, if you've never watched the Zealand video on Gift Orban, go and watch it. It's fantastic. 16 flares, 16 finishing, 16 dribbling, 16 acceleration. He literally come out of nowhere and he's now killing it anywhere he goes. So Gift Orban is now in the Premier League and we'll see what he can do. £28 million, a big signing on him. And Seguntu Massa is a backup CDM who's come in as well because Ghana Gay has retired, I believe. So he's going to come in to the sort of squad as well as young star, where is he? Mr. Jack Patterson. He's a Northern Irish Everton CDM. They signed him a couple of seasons ago from Crusaders. Looks unbelievable. Looks like a B-Tech Jimmy Garner. Maybe you can grow into him. And Jimmy Garner is again in the team this season. Next to Onana and CDM, Pickford in goal, Patterson, Bradthwaite, Anderson and Mikalenko as the defence, Sinisterra and Pras as the two wingers, Beto and Calvert-Lewin, but the backups are looking much better. Krellin, Azpilicueta, Lachero, Vitek, Vanderland, Patterson, Gay, Booth, McNeil, Orban and Chamiti. Gay might not have retired, but we sold Decore and he's retiring this year. Spoiler alert. But yeah, that is the team for this season. Again, just the free competition, so we'll get right into it. Let's see if we can get into Europe for season number 4. Guess who's injured again? Calvert-Lewin of his hip injury and a twisted ankle this season, was out for over 2 months, but he did have a very good season with 22 goals and 35 games. He got back to his goal scoring best, but it really is such a shame because he is such a good player. And again, I say the same in real life, and I've said it a few times in today's video. I genuinely believe Calvert-Lewin would be the backup to Harry Kane, battling with Harry Kane if he just didn't have these horrible injury issues. So respect to Calvert-Lewin. He's still bagging goals for us in season 3, and he's even propelled us to 6th place in the Premier League. This has been such a nice steady rise for Everton. You know, relegation battles 2 years in a row, 12-point deduction, coming 13th, coming 9th, now coming 6th. We have built on a foundation that Everton have got, and we've done it being sensible with money as well. Beto, the 3rd top goal scorer in the league, with 16. Calvert-Lewin the 2nd with 19. To be fair, only 12 points at the top. A very low scoring Premier League season, which happens quite a lot, to be fair, in this season of them. I've seen it a few times in simulations. And yeah, as a squad, we were just really good this season. Goals coming from both strikers. Sinisterra with 6 and 10. Jimmy Garner, he's on the thumbnail. 11 goals, 9 assists. A good Premier League player. I can't wait to hear that. That's fantastic. What an absolute boy. Jimmy Garner, the GOAT, sitting in CDM. And Amadou Onana, 9 goals and 11 assists. They two just rotated. We slightly changed the formation for this season. We played the Volante and deep line playmaker rather than the 2 centre midfielders, and moved the wingers up to be more aggressive. So that's why we got more results out of them. Gift Orban, 13 goals and 8 assists. He looks fantastic. A value of up to £50 million. He's wanted, but you're not going to get him Fulham because he is ours. And Martin Sheriff was out on loan and did quite well. So I was about to say he was ours. Chamiti hardly played a game at all, so we're going to get him out on loan and bring Sheriff back this season. McNeil did okay. Taylor Buffon, who signed in 8 goals and 6 assists, was very good. Jack Patterson played a few games, good for him. Mikalenko, Martin Vitek didn't play so many. Azpilicueta plays lots of games. I don't know where he plays them because everyone gets rotated. Patterson still played 40 games this season, 1 goal, 2 assists. Vanderland's played 25, 12 for the bench. Anderson played 39. Bradthwaite played 42. So I don't know where he's playing, but he's playing. And Pickford was very good this season again. But I think the next stage is to increase the right winger, increase the goalkeeper. You can see my target right there. Of course you can. But we are going to be looking to make a few big signings this summer, so we can hopefully build on what we've got so far. And you never know, maybe even win a European competition right now. Let's have a little look for the signings we make for season number 4. Well, it was spoiled already, so I might as well tell you, Ilhan Meslier is here, right? He's the starting goalkeeper. He is now going to be the number 1 ahead of Jordan Pickford. I think he's a big upgrade. He looks fantastic, and he's just 26 years of age, and he builds it for the future. And I mean, obviously, I do this for you guys on Patreon as well. And if you now have got Ilya Meslier for the next 5, 6, 7 years to pick up this save, he looks absolutely fantastic, and is going to progress into being one of the best goalkeepers in the world, I hope. We've loaned in Victor Elitu again from the African Wonder Kids list. He was £2 million, and the loan is an optional fee of £63 million, which I don't think we'll be doing. But as a backup to Onana and Jimmy Garner, he looks fantastic. Great fitness, anticipation, vision. On loan from AC Milan. He got on loan at Watford last season, and we're going to see if we can get some good game time out of him this season. Luis Guilherme is another one from the South American Wonder Kids list. Signed for £9 million, 20 years of age. Going to be our backup right winger. Extremely consistent, and his stats are just simply fantastic. This guy is a real demon on FM24, so make sure you use him at some point this year. He looks absolutely fantastic. Sufnat Muenta is one from the Asian list. Again, I've tried to get one from each list because it's fun, isn't it? Look at him. £300,000 we paid for, £700,000 we paid for him. He is a Thailandese national. I have got no idea what an ESC is. An ESC, work permit, I've got no idea what that is, but I had to use it on him because he wasn't good enough apparently. But he looks very, very good. Great off the ball work, great pace, great finishing, dribbling, first touch. He's determined, and he's so cheap. He is at Buriram United. If you can get him in, get him. 56 cap for Thailand at 23, 37 goals. He bags goals for fun, and hopefully this season he can do the same thing for us. And our last signing, and our big signing, the right wing signing, is Pedro Neto from Wolves. I'm a huge fan of Pedro Neto. Again, a few injury issues, but on FM, he doesn't actually have the tag of being injury prone, which is good because that tag means they're ruined, like Calvert-Lewin. But he looks very good. 16 dribbling, 16 flair, great acceleration and pace, and great technique. So Pedro Neto is going to be our winger this season. The squad is looking good. We've got the 4 players in reserve that I like to have. The youngsters are in around the squad. We've got the full team of Islam Meslier, Patterson, Branthwaite, Anderson, and Vanderland. Garner and Onana, Booth, Sinistera, Beto, and Calvert-Lewin up top. Pickford, Aspilicueta, Lucero, Vitek Mikalenko, Jack Patterson, Victor Elitu, Luis Guilherme, Pedro Neto, Gift Orban, and Muenta, with Krellin, Dixon, Craigan, and Martin Sharif as the backups. Outgoing-wise this season, there wasn't too many, I don't believe. We've got Chimiti leaving. McNeil left for 31 million to Bournemouth, actually. That's quite a big sale. I should have mentioned that. He's gone. 31 million, which allowed us to bring in Pedro Neto. And again, though, you can see from the spend of this season, obviously these two were previous, around £60 million. We were very good with money so far, so I'm happy with how things have gone. And Alexander Prass even left the club for 80 million to Al Ittihad. So he raised about 50, signed about 70. Again, very good net spend, and 100% the team is looking much better. So we're going to go ahead now, seat to number 4, and see what we can do. We're in the Europa League, so a lot more games to go ahead and play. We're in the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and Premier League. A mid-table finish I'd be happy with, because being in the Europa League is so many more games. It adds so much more stress to the team, and we're trying to be what we're doing by being clever with money. The backups, some of them are young and maybe not ready, so hopefully just a mid-table finish and do ourselves a good account in the Europa League. You know, quarter-final, semi-final, I'd be very, very happy. So let's get right into it. Well, I tell you what, I even bring you back a little bit early because we're in the Europa League final, and I had no idea it was going to happen this season. I thought we were going to have to do maybe season 5, maybe season 6 to win a trophy, but we're going to be going for it against Monaco in this we're going to be doing it live at the end of this video, which is going to be great fun. But to show you the rest of the season, yeah, we absolutely jacked off the Premier League. 16th place this season. The extra games were rough and yeah, a little bit painful, but the Europa League has gone very, very well. In the, the league phase, we come second to Slavia Prague on 19 points. Manchester United were in here. Did we knock them out at some point? I've got no idea how our sort of route has been. We knocked out Anderlecht 7-2 on aggregate. Quarterfinals, we got Norges and won 4-2. Quite lucky so far. Semi-finals, we got Porto 7-4, a 4-all game. And Monaco beat Manchester United. They beat them 4-0 in the first leg, lost 3-0 in the second leg. And we get to the final. We've got Monaco. Now, obviously, this season hasn't been fantastic. We've been a little bit let down, and we've been let down again by Calvert-Lewin's injury record. He's actually not been registered for the Europa League knockout stages because, guess what? He done his ACL, well, he done his cruciate ligaments this time. Fantastic. 6 months out again. Honestly, it's actually heartbreaking that this guy just cannot stay fit. Such a good striker, but that has sort of sold us short this year. Gift Orban with 18 goals, Beto with 26. The midfielders have dropped off in terms of goals as well. The back four has been good. Meliet's had a great season, a 7.03, and Beto, a 7.19, has been fantastic. Where are we? Victor Elitu 33 games, 22 off the bench, 10 goals and 7 assists, 9 and 10 for Pedro Neto, 9 and 6 for Calvert-Lewin, but very, very injured. And Sufnat Muenta has played a lot of games off the bench, 28 off the bench, 5 starts, 2 goals, 1 assist, but hopefully he is going to be very, very good for us. And we've got a massive, massive game today against Monaco. So I suppose without further ado, let's get into it. Your Everton team today then up against Monaco. The Europa League package is looking absolutely stunning. I've got to say, I've not actually played a game yet, so let me just sort this out and we can go for the team. And it's Meslier, Patterson, Branthwaite, Anderson, Van der Laan, Garner, Onana, Booth, Neto, Beto, and Gift Orban. I need to sort out these settings so we can actually watch this game in a nice manner rather than the slowest speed you've ever seen and very zoomed in and horrible. Well, we've actually not even seen a highlight in this first half, which is interesting. We've got a 1.16 XG and we've seen absolutely nothing. So FM, if we could sort this out, please, that'll be fantastic. A highlight, thank God, it's Monaco with the corner. Chao Henrique to whip this one into the back stick, headed away by Branthwaite, and Neto's there, but he's not going to win it. Kamara's going to battle through, gets the byline, shoots and hits the outside of the post, and we've finally seen a bit of action, and more action as well. Senga to the right-hand side is dispossessed by Van der Laan. I've seen Eliashe Ben Seguir in this Monaco side. Again, someone from that list that I think is an absolute stud on FM. You have to go ahead and use him. Ben Seguir at Monaco. Go and get him. Hopefully he doesn't score against us today. Jimmy Garner on the ball in DM, finds Beto up top, sets it back to Jared Branthwaite, who's on the ball, goes back into Anderson. You can see the football we play. It's beautiful. Van der Laan into Onana, to Neto, to Gift Orban, to Beto, and that is 1-0. What a goal. What a sweeping move that was on the left-hand side. Everyone getting involved. Quick at the end of it. Orban into Beto, and 1-0 here in the Europa League final. That was actually very, very nice. Onana, Neto, Orban, turn, Beto, goal. Fantastic goal. And a corner ball then whipped in from Tyler Booth. Let's see how this goes. It's gone short to Jimmy Garner on the edge to Pedro Neto. Blocked Neto. What a finish. And it's 2-0. And Pedro Neto puts the icing on the cake already. It's 2-0. And we are looking very, very good for the trophy today. From the edge of the box, I'm finding these quite good on this year's FM. This short corner to the edge. They do an extra pass and Neto blasts it home for 2-0. And we are looking tidy to lift the Europa League trophy, which is fantastic. Another corner then from Booth. This time whipped into the back stick. Branthwaite not quite winning there. Onana brought down in the box, ref. I tell you what, if we get FM'd right now, I'm going to be absolutely fuming. Doku score. Oh, he doesn't score. Great save from Elan Meslier. There is 3 minutes of added time to go, and we have built Everton into European champions in just 4 seasons. What a fantastic rebuild this has been. A very realistic one, hardly breaking the bank. I mean, this whole, new package looks great as well, but I think you'll agree we've done this in a very nice, realistic way. We've built Everton with players at the club, Branthwaite, Jimmy Garner, Jack Patterson's the DM. I mean, the whole season we pretty much had Pickford in goal, Nathan Patterson, Calvert-Lewin, Beto. We have just basically turned them and built them for what they've done in real life with a few extra £1 million on the end of it to Europa League champions in just 4 seasons. If you haven't seen any of my previous rebuilds, we've got many out on the channel. We've got Manchester United and Chelsea that are already on, that are just going to be down there.